Another way that this yin and yang balance in Tai Chi comes up is psychologically, right? And I think it's, for me these days in the modern world, it's actually one of the most important aspects of Tai Chi, this psychological balance in yin and yang. Because what it forces men to do is to soften. It means that you have to learn to receive energy, relax, to not just tighten up and just grit your teeth and push through the effort, but instead to relax, right? So for men, you learn to relax, that you can still be powerful, you can still be safe in a relaxed state. You don't have to be hyped up, you don't have to go up here, you can be here and still be strong. For women, it's the opposite. For a lot of women, it's learning actually, to use a wrong term, but to toughen up. Psychologically, I'm talking about. And this means that you're learning as a woman that there is power that you can project. Because culturally, women are told essentially never to expand, never to take space. And men are told to always take space and never back down. So when women learn Tai Chi and really learn the power, the source of the power in the legs and the waist, and that you can deflect, you can be soft, but then piercing as well, then express power. That allows a lot of women to start engaging in kind of physical contact without having fear and panic rise up, because that tends to be the reaction when somebody has no experience with that. Most boys will have wrestled in the yard and all that. They'll grow up where up until they're essentially young adults, they would have wrestled with their friends most of the time. So they're comfortable with physical contact. It doesn't create this kind of panic. For most women, if there is a physical contact, especially with another man, that they don't know, that is not wanted, that's panic inducing because it's rare. When it happens, it's dangerous, but it doesn't happen often. So you never have kind of the ability to train for that moment of contact where you can relax into it and kind of assess out the situation correctly. So the yang aspect of Tai Chi for women becomes good because you're doing push hands, for example. So you've learned the form, then you do push hands, and you get used to this idea of somebody pushing against you and going, it's okay, somebody's in my space. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna lose. That doesn't mean that I'm in danger, because now I've learned how to read the situation. I know that somebody who's in my space, I can counter and push back. So it allows women to psychologically kind of build up the same experience with grappling with physical contact that the men had just from being boys. And for men, it allows them to soften up, to allow themselves to relax in the effort, to allow themselves to essentially be more sensitive. So it brings everybody up in balance, which is, I think, is in modern times is actually the greatest benefit of doing Tai Chi. But you have to do it fully engaged with push hands so that you get to that, because a lot of people just end up doing this, right? And then you never have the moment where you're impacting with another body, where you learn this, where you learn these kind of forced relaxation of push hands in order to do it correctly. So that's where the real gold is, actually, is those moments of interaction. That's where the psychology of all of this really comes into play.